How you doing, everybody? This is PND51010, and today we're going to be looking at footage of DamienEchols of the WestMemphis3. And for those of you that aren't familiar with or know what the WestMemphis3 is, this was a case that took place in the early to mid 90s, and it was actually very, very sad. I remember this case as well. What happened was basically somewhere in the Midwest, I believe. There was three teenagers, DamienEchols and two other boys. Their names escape me, but if you want to research the case, all you have to do is type in WestMemphis3, and there'll be a plethora of information on it. But there was a chance encounter of the woods between him and his friends and these three young little boys. I think they were older by, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years. And it was alleged that these boys were, the older boys, DamienEchols and his crew, were Satan worshippers. They did rituals and things of that nature, things pertaining to Satan worship. And basically, they sodomized, they found these boys in the woods, they tortured them, sodomized them, all sorts of horrible acts to them, and killed them. So I came across this the other day, and I watched a video that detailed the happenings and events of the case, and it immediately came to me that this was a blood ritual or a ritual sacrifice, and that these boys, DamienEchols and his friends, were most likely shapeshifters, because these shapeshifters participate in these blood rituals, number one, to summon entities from the fourth dimension. I guess those entities give them power or sustenance in a way. And number two, the extreme low vibration that act creates of murdering those children is like food, that negative energy. They thrive off of that. It's their sustenance. So immediately I went to go check to see and analyze this DamienEchols, and right away, what do you know? This is what I find. So there's a whole big thing going on now about that these three boys are innocent. What made them guilty in the first place was one of the three boys that were involved, because there was three teenagers and three younger boys. One of the three teenagers that was involved confessed and said that he witnessed DamienEchols and the other teenager sodomize and beat and brutalize these children, and then ritualistically kill them. So he admitted that to the police when they interrogated him. And only 10 years later, or however many years later it is now they're saying that his statement and testimony was coerced, and that he has a low IQ, and all this nonsense. I believe these teenagers, DamienEchols and his friends, did it. I believe they killed that little boy. Only because I know that these shapeshifters need human tissue and or blood, because they probably drank some blood in that ritual. So there's a chemical inside the blood that helps them maintain their human form. And the higher the reptilian genetics, the more blood and more often they need. And the extreme low vibration of that act, I'm sure, gave them all the sustenance they needed. And they served their time, and now I guess the powers that be are trying to bust these shapeshifters out. So research the case and you'll see. So I think this is a big find in that it lends credence to the case, not on a official level, but on a higher awareness level. If you put this together, you put two and two together, it really makes the story. It helps you see the bigger picture. So we're gonna get into this because I want to show you as much as possible, and I just want to zoom in on this. And normally, if anyone were to look at this, I guess people who are unaware would just attribute this to pixelation, and at first it does. It happens really fast like that, but when you take a closer look at it, you'll see that around the eyes and just basically the profile area, you can see the pigmentation change in the skin and just the color change. It just looks like his eyes are just completely raw, and you can see the extreme color change. Heavily hooded and deep set. You can see the slit pupil right here. And I'll show you how this plays into it, the first couple frames, how it gets into it. But Very telling. And you can tell in this interview also, if you watch this interview in the source video, you can see how they cut away from him so many times in the interview. And that's also a sign that they're trying to divert your attention from the shapeshifting by changing camera angles every so often. Every couple of seconds they do it. It's actually quite obvious if you're aware of what they're doing and aware of what's going on. So you could just see, just look at the discoloration. This is not pixelation. Normal pixelation does not look like this. So I think by no means are these men innocent. I think they killed those poor children. Alright, we'll go into the next couple frames and see how it works out. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. You can see the slit pupil in his right eye too as well, our left. And then boom, it snaps back as if nothing happened, the reset. So we'll go back and we'll see how the first couple frames before and how it plays into that, because there's a couple more morphs that I want to show you. Once again, this time-consuming process that's very tedious and very annoying. Alright, pay close attention to his eye area, just his whole face. And you can see the darkness around his eyes. I'm trying to fix it for you, brighten it up a little bit. You can see the darkness around his eyes. It's another trait of these shapeshifters. And you can see around the eye region how it starts to deteriorate, and you can see the extreme. And this is what I mean by polygonal or angular irides. How they become extremely box-like and obvious. I mean, look at this region right here. You can see the color change start to take place. And again, I apologize for any background noise you might hear. It's my family. They're extremely loud. And even when I tell them to shut up, they don't shut up. So, like I said before, you gotta roll with the punches around here. Boom, and then it snaps back. And you could see, even when it's not that bad, you can still see the heavily hooded eyelids. It's also another consistent common trait that we've seen on almost every video that I've done. You'll see a lot of teeth morphing too as well. Focus on the teeth a little bit. So I think this helps out a lot in seeing the bigger picture with this whole case. The nature of these boys, because these reptilian shapeshifters are they have no empathy, they have no compassion, or the ones of the low vibration, because just keep in mind that the reptilian species is just one genetic strain in the infinite forever. So there are reptilian races on the higher dimensional levels that are of a service to others' nature, but the ones that are in control of our planet right now are anything but that. There was just a little bit more right there that I kind of missed. We'll go back to that. And also, you can see, I'm going to show you in a couple instances that when the camera backs out and focuses on Damien here, it seems the further away the camera, the harder the masking program, or the more difficult it is for the masking program to basically help out with the shape-shifting and obscure it. You can see that it's a lot harder for it to cover. Alright, we're going to skip to another scene here, because we don't got that much time. This is also a very telling scene here.
Kicked in the stomach over and over and over
You see it
again.
in real time there. You wouldn't really notice it otherwise, but I'm just going to show you what he looks like from far away here. It's kind of hard to see. Put it up like that a little bit so you can see it. But I'll show you how the masking program breaks down pretty drastically. See his eyelids and everything. Just focus on his eyes for the most part. But they cut away from it really fast, you know, these scenes, these long shots, whatever you want to call them. Watch, you'll see they'll cut back to that other scene really quick. See how they cut back to it really fast? And there he is, a little pixelated, but more to do with the masking program. See the heavily hooded eyelids? Let me turn down the brightness a little bit. Alright, let's get back to that scene that I wanted to show you. And it's like a shift like the last one, but a little bit more stranger. Alright, let's get to it here. Again, I apologize for this time-consuming process. Alrighty. Let's focus on it here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong thing again. This is crap. Just bear with me here, people. I'm going to be coming into it pretty soon. I just have to do it very carefully because if you overdo it, you'll miss it. I don't know why I can't get it here. Let's try this one more time. If I can't get it, we're going to have to move on because I really don't have that much time. It's a pretty telling morph too, but it happens so fast that it's very hard to catch. I don't know. But you've seen before in the other morph, the other frame that I showed you. See if we can catch it one more time. I really want to show it to you. You can see the eyes. We'll focus in on the eyes here too. You can see how they become triangular and display all the symptoms indicative of a shapeshifter. People are so loud in my house. Hopefully we'll be able to capture it here. Come on. See the eyelids starting to take form, very heavily hooded again. This is very frustrating. I thought I'd be able to find it. If you watch the source video, you'll be able to see it. Oh, there we go. You can see the triangle eye right there. We can see around the eyelid area too, in this area especially, how it's starting to look very raw and open. Well, that's all the time we have. Sorry I couldn't find it there, but it's kind of difficult sometimes. But I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and I hope it helps with your awareness. Be well and be at peace.